makes I can weld ceramic into metal.
Okay, we're at Tambo, Machay. Tambo means resting place, and Machay means cave. So you see the quality of the craftsmanship. Hello, Bulgaria. So you see, this is very, very fine craftsmanship. And this is very inferior craftsmanship. So this is the older megalithic work. And this is the later Inca work. Ah, Oruro.
That's serious. These were not chiseled stones. They were brought here in plasma form.
Ah, this is cold plasma.
I believe you explain it. It's a form of cold plasma.
Oh, really?
I've seen a cold plasma technology that can do that. Now, whether it can do a stone that large or simply do smaller parts, I haven't played with it that much, but we're going to do that. If that stone were perhaps malleable,
Well, it makes this
it makes it malleable. It changes the molecular excitement. We call it the molecular excitement. It changes the molarity, and it makes it malleable. I can put ceramic in aluminum and not destroy the aluminum. He's from Switzerland. Kind of cool. We're talking about some. Nassim was showing us some, and Brian was showing us some trowel marks where perhaps it was
You
still
can do that with this technology. You can take this, call it a beam, you run it across your hand, you get water, you run it across a piece of aluminum.
Brown gas.
It's a gas.
Yeah.
Huh.
Plasma is a form between gas.
Brad Olson, famous author, live on YouTube.
Hi, YouTubers out there.
So where are we in Peru, Brad?
I would have to look at my ticket to get the name right. Give me just a moment. Well, the old ticket, the rainbow ticket that everybody gets. We are at, I got punched. Okay.
Tambo Machay.
Tambo Machay.
Okay. And you see the difference in construction techniques?
Oh, we sure do. Once again, the marshmallowed stones with no chisel marks that appear to have been plasma form at one point, and perfectly fitted, very, very old, with inferior rock design above it
And below, too.
and below. And in this case, earthquake proof and still in perfect form as it has been for thousands of years. Quite an amazing feat of engineering that is seen in very few places around the world. On this scale, in this megalithic design, is truly remarkable. There's no place quite like this.
Okay, oop, gotta go. Okay, we're going to see Nassim Haramein. Nassim is a physicist.
Here I'd like everybody to tune in to the waters.
Right?
And the flow of waters through this. However, you know, it's been altered, right? By now you can recognize the difference, right? From Inca construction to pre-cataclysmic construction, right? But this must have been a fairly large complex, right?
Yeah, it's pretty big. In Inca times, this was a ritual bathing place. So again, they found the They found this wall, and they found the niches and the incredible craftsmanship. The sides, of course, had collapsed. You can see there. You see the Inca repair work over there.
Right.
And so they would use it for ritual bathing. So you have one source of water, then it splits into the duality of male and female,
Right.
and then it recombines again. So it splits apart, and then it reunifies again. And so then from there, the water goes down. Well, actually, again, with the ritual bathing going on, these people, only the high Inca would be chanting, singing, praising, and by that way, energetically, or energizing the water that way, changing it into a much more harmonic state. And the vertical dropping too, that does the same thing. It does charging. So the Inca knew that concept. That's why most Inca systems of water movement, it's not just a stream moving down. They engineered it so that it would drop and drop and drop and drop, so it would get more and more powerful until it got its way to Cusco. So in this case...
They probably took that from the pre-cataclysmic civilization, because you see a lot of pre-cataclysmic, like megalithic sites that have these like stairways of water charging along the way, right? As it hits the different rocks, which are piezoelectric,
Right.
right? And they're producing energy events as they're going down. The water is charging. The
Right.
water structure is charging.
No, exactly. And then, so from here, the water goes to the royal Inca agriculture, and from there it goes to the common people's agriculture, and then it goes to the nearest stream, which goes to the nearest river, which goes into the sacred river, which goes into the Amazon jungle, which goes into the Amazon River.
So you're charging the whole,
Yep.
like veins of the earth.
And well, then it winds up in the Atlantic Ocean.
Right.
That's the amazing thing. The
So
river water here goes to the Atlantic.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Wow. So we're on the other side of the divide.
Yeah,
It flows to the Atlantic from here.
exactly.
Oh wow!
Yeah, almost from Pacific to Atlantic.
Right, that's amazing.
That's what makes the Nile is a beautiful river, and it's very long, but it's very narrow in most places. The Amazon system is huge. It's something like 20% of the world's water flows through the Amazon system, because it comes from Ecuador, it comes from Peru, it comes from Colombia, and it's first named the Amazon in the city of Iquitos, which is in the Amazon, or in the Peruvian jungle. It's a town of about 500,000 people. And at that point, if you look on a map, at that point it's this wide. It's a mile wide at that point. So as it gets closer and closer to the Atlantic, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Right, and you know, this is the idea that we're gonna, so you can imagine if the power source were here, like imagine the power source being in these niches, powering the whole region, right? And then like the water coming out of there, like really super energized, and then like energizing the field along the way. So then the food that comes off these fields is widely altered, right?
Well, yeah, like stuff grows here. Stuff grows at this elevation that shouldn't grow. I mean, 6,000 feet is pretty high. We're almost at 12,000 feet here,
Right.
and yet everything's like everything's growing like very, very well. And the Sacred Valley is called sacred because of its production of food. Because that's the ultimate thing is, food production is what allows you to establish a civilization.
Right.
And if you have excess, like the Inca, as I said, the Inca produced enough food stored in these giant colcas to feed 15 million people for 4 years. So you have that. If you have drought, it doesn't matter, because the job of the Inca army was not necessarily to battle people; it was to take care of people. So if you had drought, the army would take the food to the people, and probably would bring other types of potato. For example, if there was localized climate change, it's like, well, you have to switch to this kind and this kind now, because we have a local shift in what's going on. So in that way, that's why the Inca had astronomers, they had astrologers, they had a huge priestly class, because food was in extreme excess. And with a resource like that, imagine what you can trade for. The Inca weren't all that great necessarily at harvesting gold, but if you have tons and tons of food. The area where gold comes from is about 4 hours drive. It's called Apurimac, and it's a very tough environment. So if you were able to establish gold mines there and bring the food to the miners, think how productive they would be.
Right. But as well, imagine like the water coming off all of these temples, the energy of the water being like over the top, right, with the crystal energy source, like changing the molecule of water, and then like, irrigating the land with that, then the land gets charged, and the food is charged, right? So you're eating the food, so you're charging your cells, you're drinking the water, so you get into these very, very high states of connectivity with the structure of space. And even if you are not necessarily inclined, right? And this is what we have to reestablish, right? We have to restructure the water of the earth, right? This plan is the plan of the laboratory, the Taurus Tech, which is like our laboratory, right? Very soon we will be able to charge a significant amount of water and let it flow to the oceans, right? And charge the veins of the earth, the water, of the streams, the rivers, the ocean, and start, because a small amount of very highly charged water has a large impact, so we're going to be able to flow. And then as I was telling you, when we're basically doing a modern version of what used to be here, right? Because we're going to make pipes that you're going to be able to install on your house that is going to charge the crap out of your water, right? So then all the water in your pipes in your house are gonna be charged. Your whole house is gonna start, oscillating, right? And then it's gonna charge the pipe. It doesn't just charge forward; it's charged backwards. The water, so the water is gonna charge back towards the municipality, right? Start charging the municipality, and more houses in that municipality that has the pipes, more, and then people are gonna start feeling it, because then we're gonna irrigate the fields and so on, and then the food is gonna be arc charged food, right? Yeah. 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 You can be everywhere. Mark your territory. But you see, it's not just, it's so it's really important, you all have the crystals now, and we wear them, it charges the water in your body. But even actually the more powerful use of the crystal is to stick it under your water at night when you're not wearing them, and changing the molecular structure of the water in your house and then drinking them, because then it's coming from the inside.